What's cooking, my friends? I'm going to do a Mexican flatbread with a steak, and we're going to use the leftover guacamole on it. Hang in with me and let's check it out. I've been inspired by Olive Black. I got sent their little cookbook and their wicked extra virgin olive oil from the Wairarapa, which I just love. But I was inspired by a recipe they had in this book about flatbread. This flatbread is so easy. 1 cup of spelt flour, a good pinch, healthy pinch of your favorite salt goes in. I'm going to get some Mexican seasoning. Of course, I'm using my one. And, you know, a heap teaspoons going in there. I want that Mexican flavor. And I turbo chefed some coriander. If you don't have one, you'll have to chop it up by hand. So some coriander in there. And it's just a good bunch of it. Now we're going to mix this up a little bit and put the baking powder in. So we're putting half a teaspoon in. Remember, this is inspired by these cool guys. Their oil is absolutely delicious. There we go. Mix that up, get it all combined in there. Easy as that. Now, I'm using, actually this is a Gault prebiotic, and it's a sample. It's not going to be available for about 6 months, but it's so delicious. I just love it. See, it's almost pouring consistency. It's from BC goat milk. They're planning on making one. If you haven't tried the BC goat milk, this is what it looks like. And oh boy, it is fantastic. And it's an A2 milk, and it's good for us, and it's available in over 50 supermarkets in Auckland now, and it's going to be available more widely soon. 1 healthy tablespoon of black olive. Doesn't get better than that. In we go. Let's just mix all that up. And I think that's a little bit on the wet side. And if it's a little wet like that, let's get some more flour in there. And you might, it's really about the consistency that's important. So let's actually call it 1 1/4 cups of the spelt flour. What actually happened was I forgot that I was supposed to add that extra 1/4 cup in. I'll just put the 1 cup in, so it caused it to be too wet, but that's okay. Now just tip that out onto the board, onto your bench, and we'll mix that all up. Just knead it a little bit. You can smell that coriander and that Mexican seasoning. See how it's still just a little bit wet there? Just a little bit too wet. And add a little bit more flour. And you know, when you start baking and making breads and things, you've got to actually make it with a little bit of passion. Nothing like making a little bit of a mess here. And it's going to be good. I'm just going to cover it, wrap it in Glad wrap. We'll leave this to rest for about 15 minutes. It's been sitting here for probably more like 20 minutes. It's cut in half, half again. You could make whatever size flatbread you like. Sprinkle a little bit of flour out here, push it out a little bit, and we want kind of cool shape, so you can do whatever shape you like. Good dusting of flour, and then let's just roll it out. But like we're rolling a pizza bread out. Keep it nicely dusted in the flour. So that one is ready. I'm going to turn the heat on the grill. So that's heating up while I roll these out. So I could use a fry pan or cast iron grill, whatever takes your fancy. Right, I'm just going to cook 2 for the moment, so I'm going to actually leave these, and I could pop these in the fridge. I could have them for tonight or even tomorrow at a push. Drizzle of olive black went into the pan. You could use a fry pan. I'm using a ribbed pan. It's just starting to bubble up here. It's good. Went into a hot pan. We had a little of the olive black in there. and it's on a medium to high heat. Let's turn it over. There we go. I'll cut the other side. Can smell all those Mexican flavors coming out there. So it's had about 1.5 minutes on each side, and it's looking well and truly cooked. Get it out. Turn this heat down a fraction before I put the next one in. Yeah, just a little bit more of that olive black in there. Slide it around a little bit. There we go. Crunch some of the salt over. Okay, this guy has been sitting here for about 8 minutes since it's come off the grill. If we sliced it too early, we'll just have a plate full of juice and a dry piece of steak. I've been heating the flatbreads up. Here we go, there's another one there, we'll put those on there. I've got these beautiful tomatoes, I've got a lime left over, I've got some guacamole. Now we can slice. Look, not a plate full of juice or a pool of juice sitting there. And let's take a sharp knife and cut into this. Look, perfect all the way through. Nice and thin. Look at that. Beautiful. It'll be moist, delicious sirloin steak. And we won't have juice everywhere. And that little end bit's a little bit gristly, so I'll leave that there for the chef. Let's start getting it plated up. Good piece of that on each one. Yeah, baby. Right, let's get the steak on there. There we go. Let's give it some magic. I've got these amazing tomatoes from Italy. They're just, at the moment, tomatoes are just ridiculously expensive. So I'm just going to get these guys on here. Drizzle of olive oil over the top. And a wedge of the lime. So we can just have a little squeeze of that over the top. And I've got some coriander out of the fridge. Let's be generous. If you don't like coriander, use whatever you like. And I'm just going to get that on there. Real casual. Throw it over the top. This is rustic. This is eating. And it's going to be absolutely delicious. How about just a little bit of cracked pepper. There we go. Over the top, sprinkling of that flake salt from Murray River that I love. Boom, look at that, it's beautiful, I love it. Squeeze of the lime over the top. Oh yeah. And some of the guacamole, some of the bread.